Alright guys, this is Jonathan with One Big Impact. Today, I'm in Cramdon. Kind of a weird name. There's some sailboats and stuff. We're near the Firth to Forth, which is really hard to say. It's like a channelway that opens up to the North Sea. We're just outside of Edinburgh, and I wanted to share 5 things with you today that I think the top spots when you go to Edinburgh are good places to visit. Now, I do have a cheat sheet. I know, it kind of sucks. It's not as good as cue cards, but hey, it's just me out here, and I'm cramped for time, so I got to make sure I get it right. The first one actually that I visited was last night. It was actually called Mary King's Close. Now, what a lot of people don't realize, the plague was real heavy back then. The Black Plague had stricken the whole area. Edinburgh was actually a town that was completely walled in. It was a walled in city. So they were the first skyscrapers to ever be seen pretty much anywhere in the world, which was really cool. They got up to, normally they're about 6 stories, but they got up to about 15 stories. But they give you a little bit of a history on, how they got to throw all the excrement out the window and stuff like that. Not only that, but like how people lived underground. It was a crazy existence. So if you get a chance, I'm not sure how much it was. Our trip advisor paid for it. I think it was like probably around 20 bucks, 10, 20 bucks, something like that, or pounds. But totally worth it. You go underground and you get to see, and Edinburgh is actually a city on top of a city, which is really nice because you don't have to, just everywhere you go there's really cool alleyways and stuff like that. It's just amazing. And it's gonna freaking blow your mind, to be completely honest. They're gonna take you underground, and when they rebuilt the city, they just started fresh, knocked down a couple walls, started fresh, and there's a complete city underneath the ground, which is really cool. Sorry about the plane's not always the best atmosphere here. So, I mean, the atmosphere is great, but the conditions sometimes not that great. Next, Holyrood Palace. If you get a chance, check it out. There's a lot of stuff that has actually happened there. Just a few years ago, the Pope and the Queen met there, Benedict, and that's pretty intense. And they still use those grounds today. I believe the granddaughter of the Queen was actually just married, and she had her ceremony and stuff in the Holyrood Palace. Also, next, I would say number 3, I did this yesterday too. I had a jam-packed day, and it was friggin' hard. Yesterday we did the Scot Monument. Me and my buddy Damien did the Scot Monument. And it's, I believe, 297 steps. If you don't have a lot of energy, just don't do it. Don't put yourself in the position to where, you're going to end up screwed later on, because it's if you're going to try to pack too much in one day. We did that, and then we did something right after, and we really lacked on energy afterwards. So you go up, it's a staircase about this big, and you're fighting, trying to go up with people, and you can't get by people and stuff like that. It is a freaking blast, don't get me wrong. It is one of the highest points that you're going to be able to see of the complete Edinburgh area. So the views, the selfies, the selfie sticks, the GoPros, bring them with you because it's going to be amazing. Next, obviously, where I'm at, Cramdon Beach. I'm going to give you a view of kind of this area and stuff. We do have an airport nearby, so I apologize because you're going to hear airplanes going by and stuff like that. But it really doesn't get more serene like this. And I get kind of choked up just thinking about it because I'm from Arizona. We don't have views like this. And you got to remember these things are possible. Not only for you, but your family members, your kids. Stop putting limits on things because you're going to be able to do it, and it's not a big deal. Just start saving, start worrying about, what matters to you in your future. I don't care if it's a car, whatever it is. Just get your butt out there and freaking do it. If it's traveling, start saving. Because you know what? Wait until you retire. You might not live till you retire. Now, I'm not saying quit your job and go do something stupid. Sorry, we got the plane again. But start paying attention to doing these things when you're young. I'll tell you, I'm 34 years old, and I'm pretty active, and this stuff's hard. There's a lot of walking and stuff. If you wait till you're 50, 60, 70 years old, it's not going to be very possible. So start worrying about it now. You can do it, and I know you can. Next one, and unfortunately I'm going to have to add another one. I'm sorry, guys. Edinburgh Castle, fortified castle, not any just regular old castle. A lot of the castles that I've been seeing have been, let's say, changed to have a modern effect, whether it be that they had to turn it into a museum, or in the 1700s they turned it into a prison, like a Victorian prison. Lincoln was like that and stuff. And a lot of these places are difficult to grasp until you're here and you're like, wow, that's not really what I expected. But you have to think about it. These companies, like whether it be the natural or the National Trust or whatever it may be, they have to evolve to stay alive, like Chatsworth and stuff like that. These places have to evolve. Edinburgh Castle is not really like that. They have preserved like pretty much 100% of this place, and it's fortified. It's got cannons. It's got the Moss, which is like a 6-ton cannon in the 16 or 1400s or something like that. It was actually the biggest cannon ever made. It was made in Switzerland. I'm kind of lost on my history. I apologize, guys, but I can put links below if you guys check that stuff out. So definitely Edinburgh Castle, and it's not one of those castles that you go to and it's like, oh, okay, we had one attraction, I just paid $20 for nothing. No. Should have put in a better spot without any airplanes. Sorry. It's one of those castles. It's gonna take. Now, if you're gonna do Edinburgh Castle, do it in the morning, get it over with, and if you still have energy, go do something else, because it's got dungeons, it's got war museums, it's got guns. Oh, every day at 1 p.m. they fire a full-on cannon. Like, it's a new, more modern looking cannon, but it's definitely freaking awesome. Like, they fire right off into the sea, and you're talking like, that sucker's loud. But anyway, I think they do it for a visual effect, they said, as the boats are coming in. As well as like a chime, so it's an audio-visual effect, which is kind of cool, you know. It actually has a purpose. And then that was supposed to be number one, but I'm gonna pop you a real number one here. Now, this was in Edinburgh, and Arthur's Seat was the most amazing thing I've probably ever experienced as far as like a hiking thing. Now, if you're not fit, we got about 15 of us students here, and about 6 of us went. All 6 of us made it, but there was a couple, not sure if they were going to make it or not. We did make it. We're all pretty young. I'm by far the oldest one on this trip, but if you can, get your exercise in, get cardio in and stuff. I mean, you can pretty much make it no matter what if you go slow. If you push it though, you're gonna get up to a false summit, which is, I guess, about 600 feet up, and don't let that fool you, because that is gonna take you about 45 minutes to an hour to get to that first false summit. Once you get up to the very top, the air's thin. You're gonna get a massive blowing. You're gonna have a nice